Hello, welcome to Veddiinspires, and this is the third issue of our changing world. And we're talking about patience and dedication. And I want to start with this quote from Earl Nightingale. He said, "If you start with certainty, you will end up with doubts. But if you're comfortable starting with doubt, you will end up with certainties." So what does this mean? This means that if you're comfortable starting being confused, which is the default way that everyone starts from, but only a few people start, and even fewer people persist. So a lot of people want to start with certainty. A lot of people want to start with knowing it all. A lot of people want to start with seeing the end, which is virtually impossible. When you're dreaming big, when you are trying to accomplish something that is difficult, which is why you're trying to accomplish it anyway, because it's difficult, the difficulty attracts you because there is a huge value attached to the difficulty when you are able to overcome the difficulty. But we want to understand the whole process before we get started. We want to understand how it's going to end. We want to understand everything we're gonna go through on the way, which is virtually impossible to do. The key is starting with doubts. Start with not knowing anything. Be comfortable being confused. Be comfortable not knowing anything. Be very, very comfortable just being uninformed. Be comfortable with that. Because there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with being uninformed, because then you can get informed. Then you can get to the process. Then you can start moving up. And this goes in line with a quote from Steve Jobs, which he mentioned the fact that when you start an idea, when you start something, you can't look forward to connect the dots. You have to look backwards to connect the dots, trusting that as you move forward, the dots will connect eventually as you move. And that's a very, very great illustration, because the person saying it, Steve Jobs, is a great example of it. I mean, look at the industry, look at the industry that he started. Apple, certainly he didn't see the end before he began. He didn't see what he was going to accomplish before he began. But now he's created something of a national treasure even. Like Apple is a stronghold here in America. So whatever idea that you have in your mind, whatever dream that you're trying to accomplish, you just have to move with whatever you know right now. Be comfortable doing that. Was it Jim Rome that mentioned that on a foggy night, if you can only see 10 feet, walk that 10 feet and you can see 10 feet more? Because you can't see 100 feet ahead. Just walk the ones you can see, and then the next step will open up for you. Before you know it, you will be on your way to your destination. Because I have no idea how this is going to end for me. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have the foggiest notion of it. I know what I want to accomplish. I see it in my mind's eye, but the process, the journey, I'm not sure of. I'm just doing whatever that comes to my mind. And then having what we call faith. Having faith that one day that this might lead to something big. This might lead to something that I actually want. Well, you say, well, that's ridiculous. Well, might sound like it, but what else are you gonna do? What else am I gonna do? Am I just gonna sit down and think my way to death or think my way to success? That's not gonna happen. You gotta stand up and you have to do something. You gotta stand up and you have to show up. You gotta stand up and you have to perform. You have to execute. And this is what I'm doing. I'm executing. And then you have to be consistent in your execution, which is the final piece of the puzzle that I'm trying to put together. Once that's together and I'm moving forward at a full throttle, then I can fully, feel good about myself, because I know that I'm doing everything that I know that I can do. And I urge you to do the same for yourself. Do the same for your goals. Do it for your family. Do it for the world. Do it for your community. Do it for the society. So Nipsey Hussle the Great, he mentioned in one of his music called Dedication, he said, how long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meets preparation, right? And he is a prime example of preparation and dedication, having been in the music industry for 9 years before he finally got to the spotlight. Died shortly after that, but those 9 years he hustled. Those 9 years he put in the work. Those 9 years he was true to himself, and he made it. Right? And I like listening to his music because it's not just rap. It's motivation. It's an example of just starting from actually nothing and then just making it up to something big, Grammy nominated. And there's thousands of these examples. And all these people, when you look at their message, when you listen to their interviews, when you just read their story, these are people who started knowing absolutely nothing about how they're going to accomplish their goals. But they went out and they executed on the plan that they had in their mind. And that plan led to another one and another one and another one. Before you know it, a pattern starts to show. And before you know it, you're well on your way. And they were well on their way. So, and I want to finish with this quote. It's an Instagram quote, and I want to end on that note. It said, "You wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every few minutes to see if it has grown. So why do you keep questioning yourself? Right? Why do you keep questioning your hard work? Why do you keep questioning your decision? Have patience, stop overthinking, and keep watering your seeds." And that, my friends, is the gold mine of what I'm trying to explain here. Trees grow up in ways that are unimaginable to us. An acorn can produce an oak tree that is very humongous. It's magic, right? You don't need to worry about how the acorn is going to grow to a big oak tree. You don't need to imagine how a mango fruit can produce a tree of mango. All you have to do is do what? You plant, you water, and you take care of it, and then the rest is up to nature. Just like that, just like magic. And it's the same thing with your goals and dreams. You plant it, you water it, you give it attention, you do everything you can, and you watch yourself grow, and you watch yourself restore. Because I believe this, even now that I'm watering my own seed. Well, you say, the summer can be too long. Of course it can be too long. Of course it can be too long before it comes to fall, or before it comes to harvest. Right? So you have to plant in the spring and water in the summer. You hang in there no matter how long the summer is. Because guess what? What else are you going to do with your time? What else are you going to do? I mean, the time will pass anyway. Why not put it into productive and constructive use? And everyone is going to benefit from it, including you. Because the world will put you on a pedestal and you will be glad that you persisted. So on that note, thank you for showing up. Thank you for listening. And as always, stay inspired.